Wilson, and I'm the Senior Horticulture Manager here at Frederik, Meijer Gardens and Sculpture Park. Today we're doing controlled burn. Whenever we do a controlled burn, we use a trusted contractor as well as our local fire department to ensure any proper permitting and safety measures are properly put into place. Controlled burns have a lot of advantages. Some of those advantages include suppressing non-native plant species to allow native plant species to have a competitive edge early in the growing season.
I'm Dave Borneman, and I'm the owner of David Borneman LLC, Restoring Nature with Fire. We're a contracting company that does prescribed fire and other ecological restoration, but especially prescribed fire. So burning in urban areas is something I've done quite a bit of. Today we're at Frederik Meijer Gardens, burning around some of these sculptures. And although it's not as big of a landscape as we have in some of our other sites, these are pretty small areas, they still can be kind of tricky, trying to get us to burn, trying to get the fire to go exactly where we want it to be, kind of a more surgical approach to burning. When we do this, part of the process is first figuring out which way the wind's going. We like a nice consistent wind. Sometimes the fire departments want us to burn on really calm days. The problem with that is that we don't know which way the wind is actually blowing, so it can be really shifty. But with that in mind, if it's a southwest wind, we go down to the far northeast corner of whatever area we're going to burn. We start down there and we start first identifying where our burn breaks are going to be. A sidewalk or a mowed lawn, that's an excellent burn break. If there's nothing like that in existence, then we use the water to wet down a strip of land, and that wet line becomes our burn break. We back burn away from our burn break, so we get first a 1 foot black line and then 2 or 3, 4 or 5 feet of black. That really is an excellent burn break for us because all the fuel's been burned out of that strip of land, so now the fire can't cross over that. If it does, we've got water to help back us up. We use those drip torches, which have a combination of diesel and gas in them. The diesel burns nice and slow, but it doesn't ignite very easily, so adding some gas to it helps quite a bit. And we can drop fire wherever we want it to be. A lot of times what we would do, it'll burn the hottest if we make an entire perimeter ignition, a ring fire, and it all comes together. It burns the hottest that way. The downside is later in the spring, when there are snakes and other animals out, they have nowhere to go. They can get trapped in there. So we found a garter snake out and about today, and with that in mind, what we've been trying to do is to back into the wind and to never really fully encircle it, but to let the fire back up to the wind so there's always an escape route for the snakes and other little critters.